What's up, it's Nick Monty. In this video I'm going to go over some songwriting and production techniques in regards to melodies. We all want our melodies to be catchy and memorable so that they stick in our listeners' heads. And days later those melodies are still swimming around in there and our listener thinks, the only way I'm going to get this melody out of my head is if I listen to this song again. That's what we're going for. Now what I'm going to cover in this video won't fix an otherwise boring melody, so your first priority should be writing a good melody so that you're not relying on these techniques as a crutch, but rather to enhance what's there already. So the melody that I have for you today comes from a song on my upcoming EP called The Story Goes. This melody is a guitar solo, but as I was producing the song, I decided to make this melody more of an integral part in the song. So first off, I'm going to show you this solo section in its entirety and just play through so you can hear what's going on. Let's do that now. Okay, so one way to make a melody more memorable is by repeating it. That seems obvious. But what if we repeat it with a different instrument? And that's what I have going on here. So this synth is doing the exact same thing as that lead guitar. And in this section, they're both doing it together at the same time. So I'm going to show you both of these instruments together. But first, I'm going to show you what the synth is doing by itself. So as you can see, that's copying what that lead guitar is doing. Now I'm going to play you both of them together so that you can hear the interplay, and I'm going to toggle between both of them. So these two instruments sit pretty well with one another because the synth is a little bit warmer and deeper sounding, and that lead guitar is a little bit more biting and aggressive. So they're kind of like yin and yang to one another. And the synthesizer also adds a little bit more ambience to it. And so this creates a little bit more interest in this section because of these sonic textures, so that you're not just hearing that guitar solo. So the next thing I did is I decided to make an intro to this song because originally this solo section was the beginning of the song, and I wanted to create an intro that had that melody, and I used the synthesizer to do it. So let me play that section for you now. Okay. So there's a couple things going on there. Let me unpack that. First, what I'm doing is I'm using a filter sweep, which is pretty common, to add a little bit of a crescendo there. So I'm going to play through and just watch what that filter sweep is doing and see how that connects with what you're listening to. So that creates a cool build-up. As that filter is going up, you hear more high-end come into the mix, and then that solo section comes in and it's a nice crescendo. And so what I'm doing here is it's basically I'm repeating that same melody in the intro, in the song, in the guitar solo, but because it's a different instrument playing it and a different instrument's taking the lead and there's different instrumentation around it, it doesn't sound like I'm just repeating the exact same thing. So it's repeating the melody in your head, but it's repeating it in a different way to add interest. So there's one more time where this melody comes back, and that's in the outro, which is also a solo section. And I'll play you that right now. So that same melody is playing again, and now we have a guitar solo that's doing something entirely different. And so this creates repetition without it being too repetitive, because now that melody is in the background. You might not even realize it's there the first couple times you listen through the song. You have to really listen, but subconsciously it's drilling that melody into your head without it being too overwhelming. And the other thing that this does is there's a concept called counterpoint, which is two melodies playing at the same time. And that's what I wanted to happen here, so it creates a little bit more interest. So if you found this video enjoyable, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.